BTL coming at you. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome once again to BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. Matthew, it is underway.
Guess what I did this morning, Mark?
What'd you do?
I watched someone worth $5 billion make a cast with a spinnerbait.
How much?
$5 billion. That's with a B.
Yeah.
Johnny Morris.
Yeah.
Kicking off the inaugural Bass Pro Tour down on Toho. Hopped on KVD's boat in and amongst the competitors' boats. Slung himself out there. Made a nice cast. A $5 billion cast, Mark.
That's a lot of money, man.
I was thinking, is that the richest man to ever cast a bait casting reel?
Probably not, because I think in the day Irwin was worth more, maybe.
Than $5 billion?
I don't know, man. He was worth a lot of money in the heydays.
I'm just saying that's got to be one of the.
Oh, it's top three probably. I think Bill Gates maybe fly fished. I don't know.
Billion. And then they all took off.
Jeff Bezos, probably not.
That's why I said bait casting. I'm sure some of those guys do the.
I don't know.
It was crazy to watch it actually happen, though.
It is underway.
Kind of watch it through every. There must have been a mass coordinated email or text blast to all those guys, because every single one of these guys fishing this thing was live from the water.
Yeah.
You go to your Instagram, just live. And then the other disturbing trend. So this is the other. It's weird how they get on these treads. So Timmy Horton posts a shirtless shower picture of him doing some body wash shampoo thing with sunglasses on. Then Keith Poche does a naked bathtub post with a hat on. And then Randy Howell does a shirtless post in the swimming pool.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, dude.
It's a disturbing trend.
I don't know what to say. But speaking of live, we are going to go to our man, Dave Rush, who is live on the water. We're going to go hopefully live via Skype here in just a few minutes. We'll take a quick break and come back with him. But weather seems to be okay. I don't know about for fishing, but
it is not raining. It rained the last 2 days.
For streaming, it should be fine.
They had great conditions, and it was kind of cool. And I never thought about this, but what did you say the 4 words were in the press release that came out last week?
Lines in, lines out.
So they take off, but it's not like, if you take off, you can just start fishing right then, and someone else has to run and you get extra fishing.
Yeah.
So what? You take off at 7, 6:30, whenever they took off, but then they can't fish till 7:30. So Mark Daniels Jr. gets to a spot, drops his shallow water anchors, and goes live.
That's cool.
He said, hey, I got 2 minutes. Lines in starts then. Just wanted to say thanks to everybody. Here's my starting spot. Looking forward to getting this. It's crazy. You can kind of get your thoughts together and get things going before you start fishing.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Now, I wonder, will those guys also go live during their 15-minute breaks?
I guess they could. They might. I don't know if they're going to do the interview thing that we talked about. Maybe they're going to be live via Skype and run it through the system and do the interview that way. I don't know, dude.
Why did they not go live right off the hopper?
I don't know.
I'm not ripping on them. I'm just asking.
We're just asking. I don't know. We talked about that before the show, how cool it would have been to really blow up this history-making event as far as their history. You only get one chance to make a first impression. I keep saying that, dude.
I'm just saying.
They could have had fireworks and just an extravaganza celebrating this first event.
When Johnny Morris made that cast, I wanted fireworks going off simultaneously.
They could have.
I wanted it to look
maybe it wasn't in the budget. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It would have been cool to be totally blow it out live. They should have had the first cast of the guys. Have they even mentioned who they're going to cover today? Has it been mentioned?
I've not seen that.
Would you not want to promote?
10 cameras on, and then they're going to have two or three roaming cameras that will also capture.
But they have not mentioned.
Cameras.
I couldn't find it anywhere.
No, neither could I. Now, here's the next question.
Okay.
What is the name of this tour? The Bass Pro Tour.
Yes.
What recently opened at Bass Pro in Springfield, Missouri? A museum of sorts.
Yes.
The Bass Fishing Hall of Fame.
Yes.
How long before something from today is displayed in the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame? The rod and reel from the first cast, maybe the bait from the first fit. Is there someone there gathering this stuff? Because if this goes off like the creators of the BPT are saying it is, this is historic. This is the first pitch. This is the home run bat. This is
I think you should
the 500-second goal.
You do that for the winner.
Or 800.
For the winner.
Just the winner.
Yeah.
But
rod,
it's not
reel.
like that rod reel that Johnny Morris made for the inaugural first
I think
cast.
you throw it in there too.
That's going to be... So how long before you go to Springfield and there is a MLF Bass Pro Tour display case that has memorabilia from the BPT?
I don't know.
Years,
it's a good question.
Months? Next week? Because it's Johnny's museum.
I don't know. Dude, with everything going on, I don't even think they've thought about that.
Is that not a good question?
It is. It is.
And when does it become historically significant?
I think what happens is I think they will be proactive. Somebody will think of it and they'll be like, hey, we need to keep that rod and reel.
Dave said, dude, let's go.
Oh, I guess we're not going to go to a commercial break.
Just going with what he texted me.
Okay. All right.
First event, he's already...
Let's see here. Let's see.
Hot under the collar.
Dave, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can, but I can't get your shot because it's not horizontal.
Hold on.
That is a rookie move, Dave. The vertical phone. How long is it? Are you new?
All right, there we go. Let's see if we can bring him in here. Crap. All right, we can hear you. We'll go. I'll get the shot here in a few seconds. So, tell us, Dave, you were at the launch. You were at the beginnings. What are your thoughts, man?
Man, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. The anglers were super excited. I mean, lots of chatter, just, ready to get it on, so on and so forth. Pretty interesting, though, the staged first cast with Mr. Johnny Morris.
Tell us about it, Dave.
It was pretty exciting there, Matt. I mean, KVD had the nitro in the water, and Johnny boarded the front deck, and they gathered around all the cameras and instructed everyone about what was going to happen. And he made a first cast, and there was a clap, very, very reminiscent of like a tee-off, ceremonial tee-off at the Masters.
All right, so conditions-wise, what are you looking at? Dude, it looks enormously calm.
Oh,
man,
hey, there he is.
About as good as you can get in Florida. A little cool this morning, but it was about 47 degrees when I got out of the truck. Warming up nicely. Guys just in bibs and sweatshirts. Slick, calm, bluebird skies, sunny. Not necessarily what you would think would be the best fishing conditions, but weather-wise, can't really ask for better. At least it's not raining.
I was trying to get a vibe on what the takeoff was like, because we'd already talked in the first segment about the lines in, lines out. It's not like these guys had to rush to their spot because they were costing themselves fishing time. Was there like a boat call out, or did they all just kind of mosey on out and head to their spots? How did that go? Because I was trying to get just from a piecing together different Instagram feeds what the takeoff was like.
And, I was thinking the same thing, man, on my way over there. I was like, what's this going to be like? I mean, we've all been asking all these questions and getting some answers, but, we're used to a certain thing, and you get to a new situation, and it's kind of weird the first time. But, yeah, they had boat numbers. Mark Daniels Jr. was boat number 1, so he was officially the first guy to, take off in an MLF Bass Pro Tour Series event.
Dave, move your thumb.
What do you got?
Thank you. I mean, was there music? I mean, we're used to the classic, the Cup, the Elite Series, the Tour. Was there was Lurch out there calling them out like normal?
No, there was not that, man. There was not music that I was aware of. I was kind of engrossed in what I was doing, trying to take some photos, but it was not reminiscent of like a classic takeoff or anything of that nature, man. I mean, it really wasn't as, I guess, the DJ and they didn't have that going on.
Crowd-wise, how many people were there wearing MLF stuff? I'm curious. These are questions I want to know. And Dave was there. You have to realize, Mark, I've been to every single Elite Series since 2008. This is bizarre to me to be able to have to watch this stuff and not be there.
I know.
It was bizarre not having you there.
Yeah, usually I'm freaking out about parking.
Yeah, you would have freaked out about parking and
anyway,
everything
so crowd-wise, how was the crowds?
Man, I mean, I don't know that I can put a number on it, but it was a pretty good crowd for a Tuesday morning in Florida, a cold Tuesday morning.
All right, we are. I'm assuming based upon what they had on their website earlier, they are supposed to be going live at 9:45 Eastern time, which is roughly 2 minutes. So we will be monitoring that and seeing what's taking place.
Yeah, we've probably seen. I'm out in a media boat with Mark, our boat driver in Phoenix. He's a MLF photographer, and man, we've probably shot 6 or 7 guys already. So a lot of guys trying to get on the board early here, staying relatively close. But it's interesting, man. We've seen some fish wade. That was interesting. Of course, you've seen that at Toyota Texas Fest and things of that nature. We've seen that format before. We've never been on the water to cover a MLF Cup event, so this is the first time I'm seeing how everything works. Let me tell you, man, the boat officials are dead serious. That's not an act on that show. They are intense.
They're rocking it. That is their job.
I've heard some score tracker updates. We're close enough where you can hear guys talking. I've heard some score tracker updates, boat officials. But other than that, man, dead silent, eyes on the iPad, making sure nothing touches the carpet. I mean, they're on top of things.
How big is that stage in person? If you've seen any of the social media, I mean, it looks like a rock concert's about to go down, the way the whole thing is set up with the HD screens on either side and all the banners. And is it as impressive in person as it appears to be over the internet?
More impressive. I was I had to go early this morning, about a little bit before 6, to get my media credentials, and I had to go through the midway and past the stage and through the WWE trucks until I finally found the media trailer. But man, I gotta be honest, I was a little intimidated by the stage.
That big?
It's pretty big,
dude. It's big. I mean, we're talking. Yeah, we're talking rock concert type stage. I mean, if Metallica was performing when I got back to the ramp, it would not be out of the question.
Let me ask you this, Matt. When you did one of the original TTBCs and they had the concert there, and everything, that stage was pretty big too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, it was a rock concert stage because they had rock concert artists. But one of the things that the TTBC had, especially when it was on Conroe, and then when they moved it to Fork, was they had like a double-tiered exclusive lounge set up next to it, where you had to go through, and they had drinks set up and all, and you listen to Little Big Town and all the bands, and then the anglers come up, but they were giving them beer behind stage and pulling them through. So that format works. It can work. It can be very exciting. So I'm intrigued to see when they pull these guys through between 5 and 7 tonight after 7 hours of live coverage, what exactly goes down on the stage? Because it can go one of two ways. And Dave, you'll vouch with me on this. How many times are you at an Elite Series wade and you're like, oh my gosh, we are only 40 anglers in, shut up and move them? And then other times, it's very interactive and very fun. So I think that process, but there's only 40 of them here, so that could be a big difference maker too.
Yeah, only 40 guys. Like you were saying, Matt. I mean, they've got the facility is top notch. I mean, they've got everything they need to put on a great show. It'll be interesting to see how all that goes down, man. I mean, who's going to be interviewing the guys? How many? Yeah, it's all a big unknown to us. So I'm really excited to see how it all goes down.
How many staff members, people, are there from MLF? We've seen it on the other two, on the crews that put this together, take it down. I mean, is there an abundance of people there that are working for MLF to make all this go together?
Yeah, there were a lot of people with MLF staff badges on. So, an exorbitant number of people. They're still putting some things together. They were already working on the midway, early this morning, just kind of getting things tightened up and finished up. It's a huge production. I mean, I know you've probably been to Big Toho Marina, but I would say, the MLF set, their trucks, everybody involved with MLF is pretty much taking up, 3/4 of the Big Toho Marina area. And everything else is, boat parking for the anglers. And, of course, they have their camera boats, their chase boats, things like that. And you do have some overflow parking for people that just want to come down and fish or look at the weigh-in or do whatever they're doing.
All right, fishing-wise, Dave, you mentioned, I know it's super early, but you said that you've watched a number of guys this morning. Can you talk about typically, are they fishing faster? Are they moving a lot? What's been the characteristics early this morning?
So that was interesting, too. I mean, you kind of you think, you got to catch as many as you can. So I was kind of going into it thinking, man, these guys are going to be moving fast. They're going to be, reaction baits, moving baits, things like that. We've seen a variety. I mean, we've seen guys really, really slowing down and just work in one spot. I mean, methodically. We've seen guys, trying to get some reaction bites. We've seen guys switching back and forth to both. A lot of guys moving around, man. You're seeing a lot of guys running, not staying in spots very long. So that's what we're seeing so far.
All right. Man, I cannot remember a day where it's been that calm in Florida. It looks like glass, Dave.
It's totally like glass. I mean, not a cloud in the sky, Mark. It's hardly no wind, not even a ripple. I mean, it's just, if it was a sight fishing deal, it'd be game on here.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are awaiting, Dave, just to let you know.
I think it's 10 o'clock.
Huh?
It did say that, but I think it's 10 o'clock now. Now they've gone to the...
Now they've gone
9 o'clock.
But, all day, for a good portion of the day, it was 9:45.
I don't know. They'll be live when they're live.
So we have no live. We have no live yet. Anyway.
Oh, wait. It just said watch. Oh, an app that said watch just popped up. It said live now. I've got a...
I don't have anything
yet. Spinning circle. Ooh, there's a Lowrance ad playing, so we're off to a good start.
Hey, Dave, what about with the popularity, obviously, in Florida, any spectators out early this morning watching these guys?
I've seen a couple of people idling out of the marina that, they could have been going out for, to spend a nice day fishing on the lake, or they could have been spectating. Couldn't really tell. The guys that we've been on, we have not seen any spectators on them.
Right.
Guys fishing fast or kind of hunkered down here? That was one of my curious
Well, I
things.
asked that earlier. You weren't paying attention.
Yeah, I was.
A combination.
But I mean, like moving wise, the boat just went past. Was that a competitor?
That was a competitor, yeah.
Oh, okay. Who was that?
Yep. That was Chris Lane. We're sitting here. We're watching Roy Hawk right now.
You're on the goods.
Oh, can you show Roy Hawk just for a second? Is that possible?
Yeah, let me turn around. Hold on. See what you think.
Let's see here.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah, that's not bad. Good ways away.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, man, trying to obviously, how Florida is, shallow, flat. These guys are fishing grass. You want to give these guys some space. Don't want to get right up on top of them.
Yeah, how's the 100, 400 working?
Dude, it's good.
Cool.
Everything's good. Just honestly, man, this still kind of getting our feel for this thing, Mark. It's interesting too because Phoenix and also our boat driver. I mean, they're used to covering the Cup events. So this is brand new for them as well. They're not used to seeing guys without cameras in the boats. They're used to covering tournaments with 8 to 10 competitors. So it's a brand new world for everybody.
The photographer's name is Phoenix.
Yes.
I'm surprised Johnny hired him. If I was going for that job, I'd go, but hi, my name's Nitro.
You'd go with the middle.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They just fired a guy named Legend.
Yeah, Harold Allen would have never.
Wow. All right. Well, I think we're slated for a 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. Eastern launch here on the live feed. So I'm curious because I want to see 8 cameras. Are you going to have a little thumbnail there where you can click on whoever you want to watch, or are they just going to be going back and forth? Are they going to be going? What does the studio set look like? Is that there too, Dave?
Man, it was a little dark for me to get all the particulars about the stage setup, Mark. I'm going to go back here shortly, and I will check all of that out for you.
Did you get to talk to any of the actual anglers before they took off?
I did. I talked to Justin Lucas, Jared Lintner, and I think that was about it, man.
What was the vibe you were getting from them? A little bit more anxiety or nerves than a typical start to an Elite Series season?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just kind of, I think more than anything, I sense kind of a sense of relief as well, where, those guys were like, this is finally here. We can get out and fish and quit talking about it type of deal. I heard a lot of chatter of, man, finally we get this thing on and get things started. These guys have been having to talk about this and deal with this decision and everything else that has come along with it. The questions, how's this going to work, whatever. And now they're finally back in their comfort zone, which is out on the lake fishing.
My other question then was, how many anglers from Group B were at the launch on Group A's morning? Obviously, Van Dam was on the boat with Johnny Morris. Were there other anglers that were just there to observe to see how it all went down, so maybe they had a better understanding, or they just wanted to be part of history?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were probably more than I saw, but I saw Boyd Duckett obviously was there, doing the thing with Johnny, and Marty Robinson, Alton Jones Jr., a few guys were there for sure.
Dave, let me ask you this. With the guys that you did speak with, what do you think is going to be dominant patterns this week? Is it the whole numbers thing?
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't get a chance to talk to guys, specifically about what they were doing. But, from what I'm seeing out here, it doesn't, I mean, I'm not saying that these guys, it's not going to be a sight fishing deal, but the majority of the guys I'm seeing are fishing what you would consider like pre-spawn areas, fish staging up on the outer edges, things of that nature.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the little fish, and it is interesting. So what they've been fishing for almost an hour and a half, 2 hours now. And it has an average next to their name as to how many they caught in the average size fish. And the guy right now who's in the lead super early, this will be irrelevant in a couple hours, but he has the second highest average weight per fish. So it's a guy who's catching bigger fish. He's averaging 2 pounds 7 ounces of fish, not a guy who's averaging a ton of 1-pounders already.
Yeah.
So we're seeing the bigger fish, quote unquote bigger, the 2.5 pounders, come into play
that's
early.
true. I mean, some of the first fish we saw pop up on the score tracker, I think Russ Lane had a 4-pounder or something, if I'm not mistaken, close to 4. I mean, there were some bigger fish being caught for sure.
Yeah, and outside of Russ Lane, Mark Danis Jr. has the highest average. Now, that'll obviously change as more and more fish get caught, but as of now, he's put 6 fish in the boat and is averaging 2.5 pounds of fish. So,
all right, Dave, anything else, man? Anything else you want to add on the water right there at Lake Toho?
Man, I mean, it was really cool to witness. I mean, you had to just kind of take a step back and you're like, man, well, that's the first guy that's idling out in the first Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour event, Mark Daniels Jr. I mean, that's kind of an honor all in itself. just I'm still interested to see how everything plays out, Mark. I mean, we've got several more days to fish. I think there's going to be a lot of strategy that goes into this. I can't imagine what those guys in Group B are thinking today. I mean, you got to be thinking, hey, is somebody on the fish I found or whatever? It's brand new for those guys. They're not used to dealing with this format. Some of them have fished the cup events and the selects, but there's a lot of guys, this is their first time fishing this format. So I think that's going to be interesting to see is how these guys that have not fished in this format handle it.
And they're not allowed to watch it, the guys who are in Group B, and they're also not allowed to share information with the guys who fished today.
No, and I was trying to get some clarification on that from some of the anglers. Basically, we just left it at, we're not allowed to look at social media. We're not allowed to do anything. Don't talk to me about anything that's going on,
That's great.
I think those guys are really being cautious about getting any sort of information. They are just really staying away from anything and just trying to stay dialed in on what they're doing. So,
I mean, is it possible for them to not even know who's leading after today, the guys who are fishing tomorrow? I'm thinking, okay, let's say you're out on Toho and all practice, you see Chris Lane, and Chris Lane comes in and absolutely slugs them. Well, then going out the next day, there's a good chance that Chris was probably around some of the stuff that you're planning on fishing the next day. And that's just being able to look at the standings, which kind of gives you an idea of whether you're in the right area or not. I mean, are they're supposedly not even going to know who's in the lead after the day in Group A? Or?
I'm not sure. I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think they can look at the standings.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm assuming that as this goes on with 8 events, the guys who fished on day 2, the next one will fish on day 1, and then the guys will be able to flip-flop. So you're talking about it's all going to even out in the wash.
Yeah.
Right. I think this is the first and only tournament there will be a draw. I think it's going to flip-flop, and you're going to kind of go like that for the remainder of the season.
All right. Very cool stuff, Dave. We will let you take care of business on location there. Look for some stuff from Dave this weekend, next week, based upon his coverage.
Yeah, on the Bassone website that will be posted on Thursday after the weigh-in today. Dave's going to catch up with some of the anglers to get kind of their perspective, not on the fishing, but on the whole experience, maybe be able to answer some of the questions that I asked Dave first thing in the morning.
All right, we're going to count it down here, see what happens at 10 a.m. Eastern. So, Dave, good job, man, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys, thanks.
All right, there you have it, Dave
Our
Rush.
coverage in Florida.
Live
Toho,
from the water.
Did MLF just get satellites to put up all over the marsh there? I mean,
good.
that feed, McClellan's feed yesterday, unbelievable.
I know. So, looks like we're about a minute away there, Matthew. Hey, by the way, somebody on the instant feedback asked about the format and all that, everything. That flow chart that they had on their website, I don't know where it is now, was really a pretty decent description of how the events work and how the qualifying for, the championship event, the Red Crest. So if anybody has any questions, I'll see if I can find that link and put the link on the instant feedback.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's 9 a.m., dude. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern. We shall see. Who do you think? Here, real quick.
Oh, we got to do our...
Yeah. All right, who's your pick?
I'm still going with Kevin.
You're still going with Kevin?
Yeah, he's got a reason to fish now.
All right, I am going with... I have 2 names on my list here. I am going with Brett Height.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go from there.
You're going with Brett Height.
Yes.
He's fishing today, right?
Yeah, I know.
He has one fish for 1 pound.
Look. I don't care.
Okay.
All right.
I like it. That's an honest
still good
pick.
with that.
All right, I'm going with Kevin.
Okay, now, give me 2 names that you think that they're going to have a camera on.
2 names that they're... Today?
Today.
Let me see who's fishing today. Yeah, they might have...
Hurry, because they're getting ready.
They might have knocked on live to see who is catching them.
Yeah.
I think they will have a camera on Jordan Lee.
Okay.
And I think they will have a camera on Edwin Evers.
Okay.
I think they will have a camera on Tim Horton.
Is that 3 names? I said 2.
Oh, 3. Well, I'm seeing if this is going to play out the way I think. I think they might have a camera on Russ Lane.
Okay.
I
I just said 2.
think they'll have a camera on Justin Lucas.
It's all good. I agree with some of those
names. They'll have a camera on Ott Defo.
All right.
You're going to see a theme developing here.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see if that's how it plays out on the first day, because
We'll
obviously they're not going to go based on the standings, or they might just go with the top 10 at the
All
time.
right, I need to ask you this because you would know. Is there a Costa taking place this week?
Yes, I believe it's taking place at Okeechobee.
All right. Very cool intro. It's rolling right now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice little intro there. Nice little branding.
will I be able
It
to?
looks like everything's
I need
working
to
okay.
Allow that. There you go.
So they have launched. Coverage is there. Still no live action from the water yet, but they are doing an
Oh, yeah, there's boats idling out.
fantastic job so far with
Dead
the
nuts
intro.
on time.
Yeah. Everything's
You've
rocking.
been a lot better about that on BTL.
What's that?
Right there, 8:30, we're on.
Yeah. Well, once you get it dialed in.
Yeah.
So hang on, I want to do something right here.
This computer is so slow, Mark.
Is it?
What was this, from like 2004?
Yeah, I need to do a little upgrade there.
So, based on what you saw, the first launch is out of the way. Johnny
Yep.
Morris has made the cast. We've had Dave on. He's talked about it. You've seen what the average fan can digest. Us as average fans this morning watching it all go down, trying to gather as much information as we can.
Yep.
On a scale of 1 to 10, and the live show is just starting, but the first 3 hours of the MLF Bass Pro Tour era, what are you giving it? All things included.
Incomplete.
You can't give it a number? Just on
No,
what
I
you've
can't.
seen for the 3 hours?
No.
Yeah, you can, based on what you expected it to be from the launch to now.
No, and here's why. Because initially they said that they were going to go live at 9:45 Eastern, and then they changed it to 10 o'clock, and they're actually live from their studio set right now.
Look at is that called a juxtaposition of Marty Stone's shiny clean head and JT Kenny's? Look at that well-conditioned locks.
Let's see here if I can bring this in here.
Serve this resource. You know, we're going to average 28 seconds
Cool.
that we're going to have
Yeah.
these fish out of the,
It looks
out of
good.
the water. We're going to have the official weigh them, put them right back in the water. I'm just excited, about the whole thing, but that part most of all.
All right.
Lines are currently
So,
out. We will take you to the water.
what are you going to
Check
watch
in
the
with
rest of
Rob Poole on
the rest of the day? What
Well,
is
I probably won't get a whole lot of things done. I have to in my economics class that I teach, but
Here's the things
the
that
media class we're probably watching.
Here's the things that I wrote down.
Yeah.
I want to know how they're going to toggle between the 10 anglers.
Yeah.
How often they're going to be able to do that. One of the things that Bassmaster's done really well, and I'm pretty sure they have it on like a delay, don't they, Mark? To where they know a fish catch is coming to.
I think so.
To
yeah.
when you go to it, it just is way too convenient how Tommy and stuff go to it and then they hook up on it. But I want to see, the fluidity with which they switch between anglers, kind of the graphics, the understanding. Can they tell a story out throughout during the day? And I also want to see if they have like kind of those E60 kind of human interest pieces that they started out with, like Brent Ayler. If you could throw that in the mix, I think it would be very interesting. I'm also interested in hearing JT Kenny. I'll be honest, I haven't heard JT Kenny a lot. Have you?
No.
I mean, I know he's funny. I know he did the circuit breaker with Chad Grigsby back in the day with FLW.
Yeah.
I've watched all that stuff, but I'm interested to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so far from a video quality standpoint,
Spot on.
yeah, dead on. Very, very good quality. They're covering everything that happened this morning right now. We have yet, obviously, to go to the water because they're doing a lot of, I don't want to call it pregame coverage, but a lot of
Setting the stage.
Yeah, and summarizing what took place this morning. But the stream is fantastic.
How much does a stage like that cost? Like, how much do you think they just have into production in this, Mark?
A ton of money.
I know.
I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, I was thinking like $1 million.
No.
Between all the trucks and truck drivers and insurance and the massive stage and the banners and
maybe,
the printing,
but I
and
wouldn't
the
think it's
audio
a,
stuff and the big screen high def screens on either side of the stage and the scaffolding.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You think it's got to be pushing a mil?
Maybe.
Because it's all custom stuff, isn't it? Or do you just go to like what stages.com and click option B?
No, they have companies that actually provide stages and lighting and equipment and all that and everything. So very cool. So tomorrow, a very, very special show. For the first time, we are going to take viewers and listeners live phone calls during the show. That's the entire show. The instant feedback is blowing up today, but tomorrow you're going to get an opportunity to voice your opinion on anything. And if you have questions for Matt or myself, hopefully we can answer them. But it's basically an opportunity to voice your opinion about anything that has taken place. If you want to talk MLF, go ahead and give us your opinion on what's going down in Florida. If you want to talk about anything else, as our motto goes, be free. You can discuss anything that you want. We will do our best to try and answer any of your questions. But looking forward to that tomorrow, Matthew.
Absolutely. That'll be a fun one.
I don't think you are.
I'm a little nervous about it.
You are a little nervous. You look a little nervous.
Now we'll see.
All right. So everybody enjoy the coverage tomorrow. And today and the remainder of the week on what's going down at Lake Toho. And it's on. Hopefully we will see some guys here shortly taking care of business on the water. And can't wait, Matthew.
It'll be fun. I'll be watching, taking notes.
All right. Any final thoughts? What's your final thoughts?
My final thought is, what if you posted one of those comments? What do you think's going on at Bass headquarters right now?
Yeah.
You think they're watching it?
Absolutely. You always want to know what your competition is doing. You're getting an opportunity to see what your competition is doing. Smart. You know? Not saying they got a copy, but you obviously want to know what the other guy is doing.
For a start, I haven't listened to any of the audio.
Yeah.
Just looking at the video.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Looks good.
Let's see what the fishing's like.
Let's see what it's like on the water. All right, everybody, enjoy the show today. Tomorrow, it is your show, your opinion, right here on BTL. We appreciate all the people watching on a historic morning here in the world of bass fishing. Everybody be safe. We will talk to you tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. We're out of here.